Hello, democracy supporters. This is Natalia Senyuk, and this is a cup of coffee to democracy. If you know, we exist since 2022, raising awareness about Ukraine and about the importance of the global democracy. And now we're raising funds for our not-for-profit organization, OSUDemocracy. Please contribute only 1 cup of coffee per month. Your contribution of 1 cup of coffee and maybe with the croissant won't only support us, which is great, but also will provide you with a Wednesday newsletter with all news updates from reliable sources in original languages. So we read the news in English, French, Spanish, Ukrainian, and Russian. We analyze the information and create an engaging newsletter for you in English and French. And there's a chance to win a monthly prize. How to become a member? Just choose any comfortable contribution under this link, and you will receive OSUDemocracy Newsletter. What to expect today? Visuals, breaking propaganda, person of the week, promotions, 1 word, traveling to Paris, anything else, and a question. Here's the destroyed Russian equipment exhibition on Mikhailivska Square in Kyiv. This is something that should be displayed in many countries. It will remind people of democracy and why it is important to protect it. I was accompanied by Oksana, but then we wanted to eat, and we went to the best Crimean Tatar restaurant in Kyiv, which called Muzafir. It's not by accident that the restaurant was recommended by both Oksana and my relative in Kyiv, Katerina. Muzafir is the 2-story restaurant with the Crimean Tatar decor and the exquisite Crimean Tatar meal. Have you heard of cheburaki? It's like a covered pizza with meat inside, very tasty. Come and try it in Kyiv. Well, I was there in April and it was safe. And now that the United States are sending even more weapons to the front line of Ukraine, it's even more secure. By the way, if you hear a scratching sound, that's him who does it while I'm recording the video. Breaking propaganda. Many people wonder why the United States would even help Ukraine. There is a simple answer. The United States were pushing Ukraine to sign the agreement that guaranteed the security of Ukraine and its sovereignty in exchange for giving away the Ukrainian nuclear weapons to Russia in 1994. The security agreement was signed by 3 nuclear powers, Russia, the United States, and the United Kingdom, and was named as the Budapest Memorandum. The memorandum prohibited Russia, the United States, the United Kingdom from threatening or using military force against Ukraine. If we go back in time, it happened after the collapse of the Soviet Union, and Russia in those days was very economically weak. The same was with the other 14 post-Soviet countries, with Ukraine inclusively. I remember those days. I lived in Ukraine and I visited Russia. Contrary, the economy of the United States was constantly growing, and if you remember, the president Bill Clinton, who had an affair with Monica Lewinsky, on his way to Moscow, stopped in Kyiv, pushing on the first president of Ukraine, Kravchuk, to sign the agreement. Otherwise, as he stated, it would damage the US-Ukraine relations. Basically, the United States shouldn't only provide Ukraine with weapons on time, which is not done, but also send their own troops inside Ukraine. Well, this is how valid the Budapest Memorandum. One word in Ukrainian. Usually I have water with coffee. Okay, let's learn how do we say water in Ukrainian. Let's start with the French word, because French people or their ancestors ate lots of consonants. So water sounds like O, but originally that would sound wa. Then we go to the English version. Water. The W-A sounds like wa, T-E-R, water. And then we go to the Ukrainian word, voda. Do you hear that? Wa, water, wa. Wonderful. Now you know one word in Ukrainian. Traveling in search of support for Ukraine and of democratic symbols. To those who like traveling, I'm going to share my experience traveling to Kyiv through 4 capital cities, from Ottawa to Paris, from Paris to Berlin, from Berlin to Warsaw, and from Warsaw to Kyiv. This time I'm going to talk about my first stop in Paris. What was unusual in Paris? The signs are in 3 languages, in French, English, and Mandarin. Charles de Gaulle and the underground world aren't that exciting, but once you get outside, you understand why so many people sing about Paris, why so many people sing about the Grand Boulevard de Paris. It's true, the wide boulevards are amazing, and the buildings of 19th century are beautiful. It gives you an instant feeling that you are in Europe. My first destination was the Museum of Army, or le Musée de l'Armée. So I wanted to see the exhibition of the World War II, and I recommend you to do that as well once you're in Paris. But I was walking through the lawn. I don't suggest you to do that as well, because I was reprimanded for doing that. I went over the lawn to take a picture of the massage for, the Prince Joachim, but I wasn't supposed to do that, so don't do that in Paris. What else is interesting? Well, I saw many tourists, many young tourists in berets and bright lipsticks on, pretending to be Parisians. Well, why not? Of course, our mascot has visited Le Moulin Rouge, and also he saw a few divas through the window. Please don't tell that to the priest. What else? We watched news in French, and what was interesting in those days, it was in April that Putin has decided to punish the suspected criminals before them going to the court. We went through the city with mascot, and then we got into the coffee shop. It's called the Carrousel des Reines. It was beautiful. Outside it was pouring, it was rainy, but it was nice and cozy inside. Then we got to the airport Charles de Gaulle, took our EasyJet, and left for Berlin. Vive la France libre! Next time, I'll talk about traveling to Berlin.